This is a very dangerous team in the Big Ten.
The Crab Five of Maryland. That starting five so lethal.
These guys can make threes. They can go off the dribble and get in the lane and create for themselves.
Gillespie wide open from three. Got it!
There you go. Queen puts his head down. He's got one thing on the mind. Go to the rim, and the Terps are up by 1.
10 seconds to go. Rice at three. Good! Good! Rodney Rice!
Welcome back. Time now to bring in the head coach of Maryland. It's Kevin Willard. The Terps with the 4th seed in the West. 25 wins this season. Coach, your team finished 2nd in the Big Ten. Sensational campaign for you guys. I'm going to dive right in with a fastball, if you don't mind. When you see Grand Canyon as your first-round opponent, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, I can tell you, I mean, Bryce Drew is one of the best coaches in this country. I mean, this is the 3rd year in a row he's gone. He's got a great group. They're talented. They got big guys inside that can score. Their guards are dynamic. They post you up. They can go off the dribble. But I just think the fact that he's been there 3 years in a row just shows you how good a coach Bryce is.
Hey, Coach, I want to talk about your freshman of the year, Derik Queen. He is great. Actually, Georgetown brought me in when he took an unofficial visit. They thought I could be the juice to help get him there, but you obviously got him. When I watch him play, he's around the free throw line. He's very silky smooth, plays like a little bit like a DeMarcus Cousins. I feel like you give him a little bit more of a leash as a freshman. Can you talk about his development in his rookie year? I mean, his freshman year, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Roy, there was no way he was going to Georgetown. Like, you wasted your time. I'm not letting a Baltimore kid go to Georgetown, man. Baltimore kids are staying in Maryland. No, I mean, I think what makes Derik so unique is the fact that he has an old school feel to the way he plays basketball. He just has a great, he knows when he's got a smaller guy on him, he can go down low and post up. He knows when he's got a bigger guy and we can take him off the dribble. He has been, he's worked really hard at his body. And I think the biggest thing, he loves the game of basketball. He's a great teammate. And it's been such a pleasure to coach him, even though I'm not going to coach him much longer because I'm going to be watching him, hopefully, with the Wizards.
Kevin, you guys made so many changes to your roster after last season through the transfer portal. You knew you were adding Derik Queen. What was the specific plan, though, in terms of acquiring personnel when you finished last season?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing, John, is, we knew we had Julian Reese is one of the most under-talked about guys in college basketball, and I knew I had Julian and Derik. So the big thing for us was let's get guys around him that can make shots, that shoot the basketball over 40% off catch-and-shoot threes. And, Rodney Rice, Jacoby Gillespie, and Selton Miguel have been just phenomenal working off the 2 big guys, which sometimes isn't easy, but they've done a great job of understanding how to work with Julian, how to work with Derik. And it really was, building a roster around those 2 big guys.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask about the mental toughness from the coaching perspective and the player's perspective, going from playing East Coast teams like Rutgers to Midwest teams, and going all the way to the West Coast, playing Oregon in your league. What was the resilience like to go from place to place, and will that actually help you in the tournament with your placement, your seeding?
Yeah, Roy, I mean, I think it's what's great about the Big Ten Conference is we have so many great coaches, great players, but I think the biggest thing is that we see so many different styles of basketball. We've been out west already. We've played at Oregon, played at Washington, so I'm actually excited about going out west. I think it's a great opportunity for us because we've been out there before. We understand what the time change is all about. So I think once we got kind of used to the different styles, I think these guys really bought into how we had to play. Our defensive toughness and how we wanted to play offensively. So the Big Ten, it's such a good basketball conference, but it gives you a unique ability to play against so many great coaches.
Kevin, 5 years ago in 2020, you had a team in Seton Hall that was good enough to get to the Final Four. It didn't get to play in the NCAA tournament due to COVID. Maryland also in 2020 had a Final Four caliber team. I'm curious, how does this Maryland team this year compare to the 2020 Seton Hall team that you coached?
Yeah, I mean, we're a little bit different in the fact that I think my starting 5 at that year was a little bit more dependent on a little guy that could really shoot the basketball from just about anywhere and wasn't afraid to shoot it from anywhere. Yep. This team's a little bit more balanced. I think, we can get you from 5 different guys at any given night. I think the other thing, the Seton Hall team had 2 7-footers that were great shot blockers. They weren't they weren't necessarily back to the basket buckets, but we could be more aggressive on defense because it was a block party when you went down there. So similar in the fact that I love being around this group. They're a great group of guys. They like me. They like each other. In the portal area, I think it's been really fun to be with a bunch of guys that we just brought in to have such a good group that like being around each other.
Coach, with teams and players, we talk about you on Selection Sunday, and then, of course, on our air, we're going to dissect the bracket the next few days, but we don't really hear much from you and your guys until Thursday or Friday when you open. If you could pull back the curtain, what are the next couple of days like for your team in meetings and practice and things like that?
Well, yeah, we actually just got done with our first film session with Grand Canyon, so we've already dove into it a little bit. I think the biggest thing with our guys is just getting our mindset that, we weren't overly happy with the way the season ended. We didn't play overly well against Michigan in the Big Ten semifinals. So to understand that we're going to play against a very experienced team, that we have to practice and get ready. I think that's the big thing with this group is when we practice well, we play well. So over the next couple of days, obviously watching film already. They wanted to watch film, so we already watched film tonight. We'll get back after practice, and we'll get out to the West Coast a little bit early, have some team time, and then get ready to play against a very good Grand Canyon team. Good stuff. They are the 4th seed in the West. The Maryland Terrapins finished 2nd in the Big Ten Conference. Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck.
Good luck, Coach.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, guys. Great being with you.
All right.
Kevin Willard, the head man, taking the time. Coming up next, we break down the East region. Still 90 minutes to go on Bracket Breakdown as we roll on till 10 p.m.